Another Sonic game whose initials are SR, as in first letters from both words inserted. First one was Sonic R. Well, R is just a letter and only one. And then Sonic Rush, and now Sonic Riders. And of course, there will be more that says as it initials, not counting games that add a third word. This time is for another Sonic Race game instead of a platformer game. You could say it is a kart racer, but also in completely different kinds. And that was a stupid intro. I couldn't figure out a different intro other than sharing the useless fact about game's titles. Well, this game maybe not forced my ends, but something like that, where I was made to use the old controller, which turns out it works on a no laptop. But there were at least small problems with the controller, so I'm not sure what problems that I encountered were the game's or controller's fault. Nonetheless, I enjoyed the game, I guess, because it was a break from a platformer game.
The racers are now getting ready. Tails is building momentum. Tails has done a great job taking advantage of the lead.
Sonic Riders was developed by Sonic Team and now Production, now Pro for short or as logo, and published by Sega for GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox and Windows. Wait, that was a Windows release? I played the GameCube version because I didn't track that is a Windows version, and forgot to check what the systems it was released before playing the game, and I had set up ready for GameCube version. Sonic Riders is a racing game where racers or some devil called extreme gear to race in race. Basically, they are anti-gravity vehicles like hoverboards and hoppers. The control term is a different, and that isn't all. There's also a part which shows how much choice, I guess, is left for the kid. If it runs out and you're either run or are disqualified from the race, depending on the race setting. There's multiple ways to reverse the choice. One of which is stopping at pit stop, which of course will waste your time and other races will be able to overtake you. Then there is an item for it, but it's hard to tell what you will be taking in a fast-paced race. And lastly, doing tricks. And tricks aren't used only for that. Tricks are also used for reaching higher places on the track if you jump right from the ramp. And of course, each track has different roads to take. If you get an item, then it is used automatically. Also, starting the race isn't regular, it's a running start. For a better start, you need to pass the start line at the right time. Otherwise, if you are too early, you get shocked. Accelerations might be automatic. Differentiators are different types, like there is speed, flying and power shelters. And so each type is say on unique shortcuts in each track. But probably on some tracks, one type is a better shortcut than other types. There also is a leveling system. Every race starts with level 1. The level up is by collecting enough rings, which of course you can lose. Like when another racer damages you somehow or eating track obstacles, and your level is reset when you fall off the track. And there are 10 tracks to race on, well maybe 5 tracks and 1 variations of each track. Together they make 10 tracks. And of course, it's 3 up race on each track. Okay, there's one more track, but it might be exclusive only to one mode, and which isn't interesting by itself. Of course, there are different game modes, like normal race, which are free race, time attack and fault Grand Prix. Then there is a story mode, then survival, like race and battle, and then tag. Also there is a machine mode, which is locked at first. Except story and mission and maybe other modes, you can play local multiplayer in other game modes, which of course I did in experience. And of course I started the game with the story mode, and because it is a different campaign, then there are different premises. Hero's story. Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, while searching for Chaos Emerald, nowadays thieves and race to catch them, but couldn't because Sonic used extreme gear instead of running. Then Sonic and his friends nowadays Eggman started extreme gear Grand Prix, and so Sonic and his friend entered it. Babylon, okay, sorry about rank. No, since Eggman contacts Babylon, Rogue saying that Rogue needs to get Chaos Emeralds for the key, and so they are to cooperate to try to figure out what treasures the ancestors left. Babylon story ends with a boss fight and that you don't play as one of the Rogues, and the boss fight track is exclusive to this mod, and without the boss, the track may not be interesting. The Vault Grand Prix is only 2 Grand Prix, and Grand Prix are separated as it is in the story mode. Only Aero and Papillon Grand Prix. Okay, Papillon.
Sorry, I'm lost without. I'm also confused.
In the story mode, if a goal or task or whatever is counted as is to defeat a rival, then you need to finish in the first place, even if it doesn't say it. Finishing in higher position than the rival doesn't work in that situation. Out can get pussy, thankfully not always, but in some instances there are too many out elements that it becomes a mess. It seemed like there was a bad trapper panic or none at all. Well, where CPUs can catch up the player, but catch up to the player, but the player catch up to the CPUs. The extreme gear is difficult to turn or turns too much that you face the wrong way. Then there are some instances where the player needs to fight against track itself instead of focusing or taking other race or keeping the position. Sure, maybe that's true for all racing games to some degree, but for this it was too much. I guess because of automatic accelerations it feels like walls are magnetized, and in other instances the walls are to bounce. That it sends you to the other wall or off track. And the walls aren't only one that sends you off track, but also other track elements. And then you can fall through the track to fall off track. And jumping the ramps might be finicky. And because of track elements, you can be sent in a way where the camera can get confused. And then with it, you can get a weird camera angle. And so, maybe not because just of these don't complete the story mode, I restarted a lot, way too much to have an enjoyable experience. Still, it was enjoyable enough. But with that, I only tried a little bit of the other modes. And as a racing game, of course there is replay function. And so I use voltage. Its voltage as you will probably notice it. This time sure there is a odd element showing to skip the replay, but thankfully it isn't in the center. Even with some annoyance, completing this story mode, it was an enjoyable experience. At least before writing the script, I didn't feel like completing other modes, as in getting the best results or time in other modes. It seemed getting completing those modes. Well, I leave those modes for when or if I want to return to play more of this game, but I don't know if that will be the case. And even with that, I can recommend this game, but I still will be saying check it out for yourself if you will like the game or not. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like the video, subscribe and comment. See you next time.